when we turn inward, the best I can describe it is like what you were saying earlier about Shruti, or about the continuous note, or about the trick though with turning inward though is when I turn inward, my mind will always try to make it an object. So there's the moment of recognizing what's already there. And then that recognition in itself becomes like an object. It's like a thought. So it's almost like turning within is constantly coming back to the moment before the thought of what's there.
Yes.
Well, and that's tricky, right? Because the moment after I do that, I'm in a thought. I'm in some sort of like labeling or.
So what the idea is to go towards the subject, as you say. And the mind, as you say, makes that into a subtle object. I would say that's fine. Just do that.
I think you've told me that before, now that I think of it.
Yeah. Because you're right. The mind can only go towards an object. So self-inquiry, in some ways, you're actually just making it focus on a very subtle object that's in quotes nearer the self, nearer the subject. And then that will make the mind subtle. And then you'll start, as the mind becomes more subtle, the concept of the I am will also become more subtle. And then as the mind becomes even more subtle. Subtle means it becomes more and more still and less strong and finer and more refined and less scattered, and not attending to the rest of Maya. So when the mind is attending to the I am, it's just attending to a subtle object in Maya. But it's a very precious subtle object. And at some point, it becomes so subtle, it just goes into itself. And that's the magic that cannot be explained. And that's when it disappears. And that happens through self-inquiry. And it's natural for it to become for it to be a subtle object. But that's the way it works. The point of the teaching is to make the mind still. And ultimately to destroy the mind, to end the mind. Because the mind is Maya. Yeah? Does that make sense, Jimmy? Does that answer what you wanted to ask?
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. And just to go back to my time-space thing, time and space are Maya. Space-time is Maya. And then Jimmy is bringing the person in. So time, person, and space, these three are Maya. These three arise and fall together. Jimmy, what you were saying was absolutely right. And it's the way Bhagavan asks us to think about this, which is the Dristi Shrishti viewpoint. When the person arises, that's when time and space arise. When the person falls away, that's when time and space and the entirety of Maya falls away. Time, person, and space. These three are a triad of Maya. When one exists, the other two exist. Ray, I think you wanted to say something ages ago as well, didn't you? Sorry, it took me a while to get to you.
Well, a lot's been said since I put my hand up. But I was thinking of like Bhagavan, you know, we have a picture, say, a photo, and then we bring devotion and love. but they're all these things are object. Well, everything's objects, isn't it?
Yes.
And then we go sinking the mind into the heart. Well, we try to imagine it or think it, and then try to go deeper and rest in the stillness, rest in the being. But it's like Maya's just getting dissolved.
That's right.
Yeah. But and as long as we hang on to any of those things, then we don't go any deeper, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's one special object we can hold on to, which is the subject. And even though the mind objectifies that, that's fine. It will still make the mind more and more subtle, as I've just said to Jimmy. And then the mind will then have a more subtle concept of the I am, the self, and it become more and more subtle, and it will recede and recede and recede until it dissolves into the self. So the I am is the only clue, the subject is the only clue we have for liberation, as opposed to objects. If we want to continue our table as well, the only thing we know for sure is I am. Nothing else we know for sure. Everything else could be a dream or a computer simulation or a projection, or we could be in the Matrix. Like the movie, The Matrix. The only thing we know for sure is that I am, I exist. What I am, I don't know, but that I am, I know. What I am, I don't know, but that I am, that I exist, I know. That is the I am. That's the only clue we have for eternity, for the eternal. Bhagavan says, that is your clue, you should follow it. Regardless of if you believe in Shristi Dristi or Dristi Shristi, you've never heard of that stuff, it doesn't matter. If you cling to the I am and go towards it, that itself will be the guru and take you all the way home.
Yeah.
Does that answer any question you had, or is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, it's a wonderful thing, isn't it? It's an amazing thing that it's so simple, but it causes everybody such a problem. But yeah, it's just that because it's so simple, I think I get deviated from it at times, and
of course, yes.
But
it's because you think you're a body mind, and then
yeah.
then you become interested in the world.
Yes.
But you are Bhagavan. You are Bhagavan. That's why you love yourself, because you're the beloved.
You just have to keep telling yourself, or you tell us. But
yes, you have to listen to the teaching.
The more I tell myself,
you can tell yourself. You can let me tell you. You can read it in a book.
Yeah.
It's to keep on exposing the body mind to the teaching. And then slowly, the ship that's traveling one direction, the ship will turn and go towards the source, slowly but surely.
Right. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Ray. Thank you.